Thank you for staying tuned. I'm Colin Abrams with the HGP Sportscast. We start with cricket. After a mammoth total set by Windies, they lost to England by 6 runs by virtue of the Duckworth-Lewis system at the Oval on Wednesday. Stanford Howard has the details.
England elected to field and send the men in maroon to bat. Chris Gayle caught by Joe Root in the first over for 2 runs. But Evan Lewis stepped up to the plate and played a brilliant innings of 176 runs off 130 balls with 17 fours and 7 sixes. That was also the 4th highest score in an ODI in England. That knock gave the Windies team some hope of saving the series. Jason Mohammed, 46, and Captain Jason Holder, 77, set the Windies for the big score of 356 for 5 of their 50 overs. That was the highest ODI score by the West Indies in England, and it was achieved with a rampaging Evan Lewis retire hurt in the 46th over. In the English reply, the opening pair of Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow made 126 in 17 overs, but West Indies' 20-year-old speedster Alzarri Joseph put the brakes on the Englishmen's innings by taking all the 5 wickets to fall. Josh Butler and Moeen Ali excelled to take the Englishmen to 258 for 5 in 35.1 overs before the rain came and gave England the win by Duckworth-Lewis system. Evan Lewis was player of the match. The final match of the series takes place this Friday. For HGP Sports, I'm Stanford Howard.
Thank you, Stanford. Evan Lewis has suffered a hairline fracture of his right ankle from the blow that forced him to retire hurt for 176 in the 4th ODI against England. He's expected to be out for 2 to 3 weeks, so he will miss the final match of the tour. More cricket news. West Indies women to soon begin their bid for direct qualification to the ICC Women's World Cup 2021. More in this report.
West Indies women host Sri Lanka women for a series of 3 one-days international and 3 T20s next month. The 3 ODIs are to be contested on October 11, 13, and 15 at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Trinidad. The 3 T20s on October 19, 21st, and 22nd at the Coleridge Cricket Ground in Antigua, which will also be critical for the 2 sides as they also look to prepare themselves for the ICC Women's World T20 tournament to be staged in November next year in the Caribbean. The Windies women are the defending world champions in the T20 format and will be looking to get themselves geared up for a purposeful defense of the title on home soil. For HGP Sports, I'm Stanford Howard.
Thank you, Stanford. New cricket playing conditions are set to be introduced. The significant changes include restrictions on dimensions of the bat, the introduction of player send-offs for misconduct, and changes to the decision review system. Restrictions on bat sizes, player send-offs, and changes in DRS are the highlights of new playing conditions effective from September 28. The ICC playing conditions will now incorporate the relevant clauses from the MCC Laws of Cricket 2017 Code, meaning that all playing regulations will be captured in one document for each format. To maintain the balance between bat and ball, the playing conditions now restrict the size of the edges of the bats as well as their thickness. The restriction on the length and width of the bats remain unchanged, but the thickness of the edges can be more than 40 millimeters, and the overall depth can be 67 millimeters at the most. And finally, in football news, the Ghana Football Federation is set to commence Phase 1 of the FIFA Forward Training Facility at the Providence site on October 3rd. More in this report.
With Phase 1 of the project set to be completed by mid-January of 2018, the Ghana Football Federation is very confident regarding the selection of the international and local contracting agencies. Phase 1 of the construction includes construction of the pitch and goals and installation of the lights. Construction of the artificial turf will be done by Greensfield, a manufacturer of artificial turfs, and the local construction company Nabi and Sons. President of the Ghana Football Federation, Wayne Ford, says the idea is to have a playable facility as the remaining work is being completed. Ford expressed his excitement over the beginning of construction of the facility.
This is a monumental step for the development of football. The design emphasis of that facility would be one where we can produce the best quality footballers that Ghana can produce. So much of the conceptual design that you see is going to be tweaked a bit to ensure that the facility caters for the development of those athletes.
He further commented on the number of amenities that will be available for athletes.
as part of the grand facility that we're building, we're going to have gym. We're considering a cool-down pool. We're going to install or build dorms where we can have lengthy encampment. We're also looking at a high-quality catering and kitchen services. We're going to try to create commercial spaces that can be create opportunities for revenue for the Guyana Football Federation.
Ford said it will be some time before Guyana would have a complete training facility.
That is all for this edition of the HGB Sportscast. Back to you, Travis.